What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Your pal Zeebs back here, and I think I'm going to go over something that I think should be more known to modern gamers out there. In this video, I'm going to shed some light on the curiosity that's the PS Vita. Now, I bought my PS Vita in early 2015, and you guys are probably all thinking, what are you, a fucking dumbass? Hey, chill. Give me a couple of minutes of your time, and hopefully I'll be able to give you some more insight on this handheld, and hopefully show you what's so great about it, and why nobody cares about it. So without further ado, I'm going to dive into 5 separate factors of the system, which include a general overview, why it's failing, some of the good games, strengths and weaknesses, and my overall conclusion. Anywho, let's just get into it. For those of you who don't know already, the PS Vita launched in the States back in 2012, and as of now it's sold approximately 13 million units worldwide, compared to the 3DS selling around 59 million globally. Of the 13 million, a large chunk of those sales came from Japan, because in Japan they all love the Vita. Here in America, most people have no idea what it is. Basically, it's a successor to the PSP, which sold respectable as numbers in its life, but the Vita ditched the UMD mini disc instead for the tiniest chips you'll ever see in your fucking life. Seriously, why the hell are they so tiny? They're literally fucking smaller than an atom. I'm paranoid because I feel like they're gonna get lost if I don't keep them on my case. Still, I do prefer this over the PSP with its loud loading discs. Now, graphically speaking, the Vita blows away the 3DS, but many say graphics don't make a good game. And yes, although I really do agree with that, I will say that I prefer to look at a great game that looks like it's coming from the PS3 on my screen than a great game looking like it's coming from the GameCube. The one screen is touchscreen, similar to the 3DS, and nicely, it has dual analog sticks, which Nintendo just could never get right. First, with the fact that it has one circle pad, and second, that tumor-like shit that you could attach to it a little bit later on. And now with the new 3DS having that tiny ant-sized stick, which I can't personally stand, but let me tell you, anything is better than that. I mean, I'm sorry, who in Nintendo saw that and was like, yeah, it's good. It's good stuff, yeah. Overall, both the original model and the newer models for the Vita feel well made, particularly the original first model, which I can't necessarily say for any of the 3DS models. Number 2. Why I think the PS Vita is failing. There's no marketing for them, and Sony doesn't give a shit about their own system. However, this doesn't mean that the Vita has crap games. I'll get more into that later. Now, the 3DS is well known, and new quality games are released frequently, which get a lot of attention, since most of them are Nintendo IPs. Smartphones are also capable of mediocre games that look good to casual portable gamers, and they're all really cheap. Fuck these things. One of the biggest flaws is the fact that you have to have proprietary memory cards, meaning you need a specific ones meant for the Vita, and no other kind will do. They also run you about like, I don't know, $80 for 32 gigabytes? Jesus. Sony themselves claim that the Vita is a failure, and they basically withdrew all of the support for it early on. Smart move, guys. It's expensive, or at least it was. The new system at launch cost up to $349.99, and if you needed more memory, expect to add another $80. Now it's not a problem, besides those fucking memory cards, but it definitely was a factor early on. I'm sure there's other reasons as well that I've not mentioned, but I'm just saying that the Vita's had a rough life. But yes, trust me, there are more than you may think. When it comes to RPGs, it has a ton of them, particularly JRPGs. Persona 4. One of my absolute favorite games of all time, got a fantastic remake on the Vita only, and it trumps the original in every single way in my opinion. Just saying, if you have a PS Vita and you like RPGs, then you should check this game out. Now we got Muramasa Rebirth, a hack and slash type of action adventure side-scroller that was a remake of the Wii original, also equally if not better than the original, but now on the go. The Danganronpa series, a great series of mystery games if you're into detective-like story-based games. There are at least 3 on the Vita that are all critically acclaimed. Rayman Origins and Legends also got ported to the Vita, which in my opinion works best on the Vita. They're good games to play on the go or in quick bursts, so I prefer the Vita over the other ports. Now if you like rhythm games, the Hatsune Miku series continues on the Vita, and they're fantastic rhythm games with catchy Vocaloid music. If you're into that kind of stuff. They're also really cheap, so definitely check them out. A new game is coming out on the Vita later in 2016, so yes, the Vita is still getting new games. Also, if you like Vocaloid rhythm games, check out the import called EA VT Colorful. The Vita is not region locked, so the Japanese chip will work perfectly fine on your American system. I mean, hell, my system's Japanese, and all I did was change the language to English. Otherwise, it's the exact same. I forgot about another rhythm game that I own, which is Persona 4 Dancing All Night, which came out recently, which is another good rhythm game with the Persona 4 cast, which is always a plus. Now, as for games that I don't own personally that are also well known, here are a few favorites. The Disgaea series on the Vita, Gravity Rush, which I own a remake for on the PS4 and love, by the way. Little Big Planet Vita, Uncharted Golden Abyss, Virtue's Last Reward, The Walking Dead series, which got a port on the Vita if you want to play it on the go. Freedom Wars, Ys, Memories of Salsida, or whatever you call it. The Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, Sly Cooper HD Collection, Jak and Daxter Trilogy, Odin Sphere Leafrazir, The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, Dragon's Crown, Tukiden Kiwami, and many, many more. For some of the strengths include a surprisingly long battery life. Games are rarely more expensive than $20 online nowadays. The system isn't region locked, so imports are a breeze to play. Consoles are cheap now, where you can get a used one for probably around $100. Colors, if you're into that stuff. And a decent library of games. It's also very well built. It also has a high quality OLED screen for the original model, and the later models still have a really nice LED display as well. Video games have trophies, if you're into that stuff. Impressive graphics comparable to the PS3, and dual analog sticks. Some of the weaknesses include the fact that memory cards are really fucking expensive. Also, why are the games so small? I mean, they're fucking tiny. No support from Sony at all, and if Sony just tried, it could have been a much better system. Now it's time for the conclusion. Overall, I'm not trying to tell you guys to go out and buy a Vita right now. I just wanted to go a little in depth with the PS Vita. If you like what you saw in the video, then hey, go out and get a Vita, even though it's 2016. Don't listen to people who say it's dead. The Super Nintendo's dead, but that doesn't mean that it's not loved by everyone. Every system deserves a chance, and I'm glad I did with the Vita. Anyways, if you liked the video, thanks. You guys make me happy. So otherwise, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Anyways, peace out, guys.